Lads, lasses, and non-binary masses, welcome back! My name is C28, and it is time for the 1000 subscriber special of synthetic design. This is what y'all voted for, and I am all for it. This is one of my favorite series to do on this channel, and I am beyond excited to try out this little challenge you gave me. Y'all voted in the post, I made the community post, saying that you wanted to hear all of the patch cables being used. So, all the patch cables will be used. If they all fit, that is. I may actually legitimately run out of ports. At least ports that'll not void the sound. But we will do as many as possible, up to and including all of them. My hope is we'll get all of them. We'll see what happens. Yes. So this special is a little bit more special than the 500 subscriber special in that we have a giveaway happening. You're actually hearing one of the giveaway items as I speak. It's the microphone. You're hearing my voice through the SM58 by Shure. It is being powered by it's a dynamic, so it doesn't need power. It doesn't have that 48 volt phantom power. But it is being plugged into the 2i2 Scarletts. So that's what that sounds like in, I'll be honest, a pretty low tier interface. You're going to be hearing the matriarch, the star of the show, through the Vault 276, this fun beast. Through the Vault 276. Now, I suppose I could just swap the inputs right now, and you'll be able to hear what the SM58 does sound like through the Vault. So I may as well do that real quick. So let's just do that. And I'll be in your left ear, by the way. We ran into some technical problems. I cannot do that. I'm going to plug in the other wire real quick so we don't have that buzzing absolutely irritating us the entire episode. All right. Whoa, that was awful. Well, I mean, you can't say I didn't try for you, but I do have a video from the channel showing the difference between the two in the Vault 276. The two microphones. So I previously have used the Sennheiser E835, and I'll likely be using that in the future for these videos because this thing that you currently hear me through will be packed up and shipped to one of you winners. And how do you win, you might ask? Well, you win by commenting. Anything. You can comment just a little full stop, little dot, and then boom. You are entered to win. So yeah, comment literally anything. You can comment, C28, you're stupid, I hate you. Your channel sucks, and you could be picked. And wouldn't that be awkward? So please don't. Please don't do that. That's so rude. Yeah, let's just jump into this now, shall we? All right. So, we have our Moog Matriarch in front of us with a pretty basic patch setup. It's just a single oscillator waveform. Single oscillator with a triangle waveform on. Sounds like this. Not too interesting. So what can we do with one patch cable? Well, with one patch cable, we can't do a whole lot of really good sounding stuff. I could plug my my triangle out from this LFO into the pitch of it, and then we get something crazy like this. But that's not outstanding. I don't quite like how that sounds. So we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do, let's see. I'll take a random, so I'm going to use our modulator here, and we're going to take a random frequency out with a pretty decent rate. And what we will do is we will take a small cable here. So we will take the wave out, there we go, and plug that into the input. And then the output can go to our filter. So we'll have our filter kind of moving at a random rate. And it will sound like this. Pretty fun. Now, the envelope is very basic and boring, so we're going to fix that too. I think it needs some release. Instead of it just it goes away immediately. We're going to put some release on that. So now it goes, boom. That's a lot nicer. We still get that movement from the filter, which is nice. We have a lot more cables to go. So, what can we do here? Well, let's see. One of the things I know that's very nice is when you mess with the delay and time on the stereo delay module, you get these really freaky pitch patterns that happen. So, let's do that. And before we do that, let's up the oscillator count a little bit. Let's give us oscillator 2. Let's give us oscillator 3. Oscillator 4. And we've got a lot more stuff happening. Well, what to do now? Now I think what we can do is we can change up some of the oscillators here. I'm going to do a basic sawtooth scream. So, you know, the... Whoa. I did not like the filtering on that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I think that's a bit loud. Let's turn that down on the matriarch. There we are. And turn the attack. There we go. Turning the attack up a little bit so it doesn't just clip on us. Oh, and also, currently in Logic, I have my... the microphone is set up with a compressor with the matriarch. So whenever I play the matriarch, my voice will go, and you will not be able to hear my voice until the matriarch goes back out. That is so that keyboard clicking is not an issue, and then we'll have to go painstakingly editing that back and forth, going, oh, did it click here? Did it click here? Did it click here? And I can just try to limit speaking as well, just by proxy of I can't whenever I'm playing. So it makes editing just a little bit easier. Also, just sounds nice for you. You don't have all those clicking sounds. Yeah. So I'm going to take the slow LFO here and attenuate it. And we can plug that into our utility port. I think utility ports are going to be all used. That way we can just even cheat. Like I could cheat. I'm not going to because we're going to have to eventually use everything. And I could say, oh, look, I used an extra cable just by bouncing to the utility. Sorry, I keep calling that utility because that's what's up top. It's called the multiplier. The whole strip is called the utility. It's a utility strip because it has your attenuators, your LFO, and then your multiplier. It's called the multiplier patch. I may call it utility port often. That's because utilities is the larger word and mult is the smaller word. You know, read big word first, then small word, then this one, then this one. You know what I mean. Where should we route this? Well, I reckon we should route it to the second oscillator. That'd be a first go-to. And then we can attenuate, meaning take down the intensity of this thing. And then we get some screaming action. That sounded pretty crazy, didn't it? I think we're going to actually do that for this one. Yeah. And then we won't sync these, but we will sync these two. I suppose we could try... I know this probably won't work. We could just legitimately turn off 3 and 4. Whoa, it's doing some freaky stuff. Let's change that around. Alright, so right now we have just something basic. Our filter's going to move around. We have some screaming action with the oscillator. That's how it goes. think it's probably a little bit too low. There we are. Okay. Well, we just got to plug another thing in here, don't we? I think this is actually not going to work. I think a lead sound is going to be too complex. We probably have to do a pad. So I'm going to, yeah, we're going to change this into a pad. To do that, we're going to use some softer waveforms. We're going to move them all to triangles. And I'm going to put the cutoff filter up a little bit. And then we can use Force Synth Periphery. Now, that will sound pretty decent. Oh, we do need to turn up our... There we go. We had oscillators 3 and 4 not on, not engaged, so they were not making any sound for us. We can sync them all still. There we go. That's it. That's a pretty cool sound. And instead of using oscillator sync, what we can do is we can do pulse width modulation. So it'll make the pulse width scream, which sounds a little different. If we set them all to that. Ooh, those are some pretty cool sounds. Here, we will add a little bit of stereo delay, and then we can start messing with that as well. Oh, I see. Wow. I was like, something doesn't sound right here. It's because all the octaves are sort of randomized. So it's like these notes aren't hitting where I'm expecting them to. That is why the octaves were not set to be uniform. Now they will. Pretty fun. Gonna increase the intensity of that warble effect. There we go. And let's add another patch cable. This one, I don't know what to do. You know what? Exactly what I said with the multipliers. We're gonna use a lot of them. So we're gonna take the same random effect, and we're gonna steal that signal, and we're still gonna route it to our filter. So all we did is we patched in the multiplier before the filter on this output. So it does the same thing. Except now we have 2 extra ports to use. One of those ports is going to go to an attenuator. Just because I think this is going to be a little intense still. Now we get to use the big ones. So I want to route this all the way over to the stereo delay module. We're going to plug in the output. So now we'll have a little bit more relaxed version of that warble effect that's happening on our filter, though. So we're going to have that, but it's a little bit more relaxed, and it's going to go to the... I think the time is probably a really good one to do. Let's try that. You're going to hear some really cool effects now. You hear that? It's going crazy. I'm going to turn it down, actually. It's still a lot. Oh, I love that. That is so beautiful. We're starting to get the sound that I think we're going to keep for this episode. All right. Wow. Now, there is some stuff in the back we can mess with that might give us some really cool effects. I think what we can do, actually... We might replace a lot of these cables with these repatchable, not repatchable, but stackable cables, because we can steal the signal out from here and here. So whatever is coming in or out of there will be sent there. But basically, this just clones whatever this tip is. So we can put it somewhere else. So say I wanted the same exact signal that's going here to go to, say, the pulse width modulation for oscillator 4. I could simply patch that there, PWM there, and now 1, 2. Now it's kind of hard to hear because we have 4 voice periphony on right now, so you're hearing it against all the other ones. So I could just turn them off, and then you're going to hear nothing, 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 and then 4. So nothing, 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 4. And you can hear that warble. You can hear that warble effect happening with oscillator 4. So let's turn these all back up. There we go. All friends. Yay. We still have about 4 of these tiny ones and a lot of the big ones. So we're going to stand by on using the tiny ones because, well, actually, let me think. Let's go for something stupid. Let's go for something that doesn't make sense to do because we need to use these cables up, right? We need this whole thing filled with patch cables, which is what I promise I'm going to do my best to do, but it might be very difficult. So let's do something crazy. Let's do the wave out from oscillator 1. All right, wave out oscillator 1. Ha! Oscillator's 1 feed is in here. Now we could do something stupid and say patch it into oscillator 1, so oscillator 1 replaces oscillator 1, so instead of oscillator 1 it plays oscillator 1. Crazy, right? It plays oscillator 1 instead of playing oscillator 1, which, yeah, dumb. But we could also do, I just thought of, which would be stupid, admittedly, and kind of cheating. We can make oscillator 1, oscillator 2, oscillator 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. I've never had a need to do that. That's really just a dumb thing to do. But just for, just for fun, we can do it real quick. Just because that is a thing you can indeed do. So 1 is going to be 2. 2 is going to be 3. 3 is going to be 4. And 4 is going to be 1. I know you gotta sound like this. Oh. It's not operating the way I'm expecting it to, actually. That is strange. Maybe it's doing something I'm not paying attention to. Yeah, that is strange. It's like... Oh, we're gonna put these away. Not a need to do that anyway. It's not actually... It is affecting the sound in a negative way, though. It's muted some things that I don't like. So freaky. Let me think. Let's go in the back, actually. I'm going to move around the camera real quick. And we're going to check out what we have in the back. So one of the things that I know is going to be really fun to mess with in the back is our mod wheel. We can use that as a source of modulation anywhere on the board. So I'm going to pull that out and we'll just have it loose for the meantime. So mod wheel out. All right, this purple cable is our mod wheel. Anything we do to our modulation wheel, which is this one here, this friend, that is going to affect, and we're going to turn that down, that down, that down, so it doesn't do anything else. Basically, those are normalized to the oscillators and the cutoff for the filter. So by default, you don't need to even patch it, you can just move those. But this is our mod wheel. So I could do something stupid like the pitch of oscillator 1, and so when I press oscillator 1, I can mess with the pitch that way, which that's not very useful, to be honest. So instead, I think that we can plug this into CV for the attenuator here. And the attenuator is reducing the amount of time it takes to get PWM into the second oscillator. And we can push that actually over to the other remaining oscillators as well. So we'll do that into PWM for 1 and PWM for 3. There we go. So now we got a decent amount of patch cables going on. We got a cool little mess of spaghetti here. That's pretty fun. Now it will sound like this. And I'll be able to move this and change how intense that is. So that didn't do what I expected it to do. Let's do the rate, actually. Let's do the rate. Does this work? Yeah, it totally works. Okay, it totally works. So we'll really change the rate of the LFO instead. Oh, I'm in love with that sound. That's such a creepy dystopian sound. You can imagine like a Blade Runner sort of deal with that. Let me or actually I'll just use my sustain pedal. Here. That's wild. Release is not working the way I wanted it to, which is strange. Seems like it just went beep, it just cut out. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 patch cables remaining. Woo, that is gonna be that's gonna be pretty crazy to mess with. I don't want to do FM synthesis because that always ends up sounding really strange and kind of awful. There is a way to do it with some settings in the Matriarch, but I don't know how to do it, to be honest. I'm not experienced in doing FM on Matriarch. In future, maybe I will learn that skill. But in the meantime, we don't have that skill. We being me. So let's go ahead and try messing with something else. Let's try messing with the delay as well. We said that would give us some cool things. So let's try that. And to do that, I'm going to actually use one of these again. We're going to patch it on top of itself so we can still patch it over to oscillator 4. Oh, wow. Hello, friend. You were already patched on top of yourself. Beep. Wow. This is getting messy real quick. This is getting real messy. All right. There we go. So we're going to unplug this one here. We're going to plug in this one here. Boom. And then we can plug it back on. Look at that fun little stack. And now we'll plug it into delay. So delay one will get the same sort of change. And now it sounds like this. That's wild. That's so crazy. Whew, okay. We have these 2 ports now available to us again. So what if we added something else to the delay? I'm trying to think what else. We do have this port available right over here in our multiplier. What is feeding that? That is being fed by the output. Oh, so that's our randomizer. So that would just send more randomizer. That would send more raw randomizer to it, which I don't think that's what we really need. So, You know what we could do? We should be able to link the second cutoff. And now this is technically stealing from the in going to an in, but if my limited electronics knowledge is worth anything, I believe the signal from the out is still going to route over there, so we should get something new. And indeed we do. I like that. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 patch cables remaining. 9 patch cables, and we will be done. So we need to find a way to add 9 patch cables onto this thing without ruining our really cool, strange dystopian sound. What can we do? Okay, the envelope out is one thing I'm thinking about. Envelope out. Envelope out. So when we trigger it, it'll do something. Now, I really don't know where to go. Let's try putting on time. Let's just do that. We're just not going to think about it and see what happens. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't like that. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what we can do. I know a good thing we can do. All right. So we have the mod wheel here is messing with the rate in for our LFO. Alternatively, or additionally, we can have that mess with our feedback. So feedback here will give us more repetition. So if I just hold one note. You hear that? It gets all loud and noisy. I could turn that up with a knob. Had one of our lab instructors, Lee Coombs, show that to me, and oh my goodness, Lee, thank you so much. That was like one of the coolest things I was ever shown on the Matriarch, and I am so grateful. That was so fun. So I'm gonna do that. We'll need another one of these. So yay, I get to get rid of one of these. I always, when I was planning for this episode, I was really stressed about, okay, I can't not use these. I can't want to say, oh, well, these don't count because they're like more utility cables. Nah, they're patch cables, all right. They count. So I'm not going to cheat you and say, no, these don't count. I have to use them. So I'm going to plug it in here. Boom. Boom. Now, you should be able to route this in here. Feedback, control voltage in. Now, as I push this up, the feedback should move up as well. Let's give it a shot. I do not believe that worked. Let me try pushing the feedback up manually. It may be that it just moved it so slightly, it barely moved it. We're going to try that. No. Alright, so it just didn't work. But what we can do is still pretty simple. We can just swap them. So I think it is just that all we need to do is route it differently. So, oh, whoops, I'm catching on the, there we go. So we will unplug that, and then this purple cable, where that was plugged in, we're going to plug in the lilac cable, if that's correct. Lavender cable, I'm not sure what the correct color naming scheme would be for that. But now we can plug it in this way. Cool. And do that. And now I am at least 98% sure this will work this time. Oh wow! I think I heard it. Let me just turn it up more intense. It's not infinitely okay. Good. And now. Yeah, I haven't got a clue why it's not working. I guess we can test it by plugging it in here first. And this is just a wreck. Like, there's no way this doesn't work now. Whoa. It definitely works. But it doesn't seem like I can plug it in this way. So that's interesting. What? What? I totally can. You saw that. Okay. I don't know why it mattered that I did in here as opposed to in there, but it did. If one of you in the comments understands why that happened, please let me know. I'm very curious as to why that was the case. We have it working, albeit in a way that shouldn't have solved the issue, but it did. It was just picky. It wanted to go to the feedback first and then the rate in for the LFO. But, oh, okay, we'll do it your way. That's fine. All right, let's get rid of these last few cables. So, what do we got? We still have control voltages here we could use for all of the attenuators. And we have a square out we could use for the LFO. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to try it. This might just flip-flop the this attenuator very slowly. We're going to see what happens. That's awful. That's simply not what I wanted. I think I'm going to check out the back panel and see what we can do here. There might be some fun pitch stuff we'll be able to do. That'd be nice. I think pitch is going to be like the last thing we'll be able to do before we start getting like way crossed over and we have way too many things happening. So let's check this out. We do have our arpeggiation section we can check out. I'm going to see, does this patch sound good arpeggiated? Let's do it. Randomized. There. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Turn the rate down. We can randomize the rates. That'd be good. Yeah, put you back. Bam. Let's try this out. So, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, you can arpeggiate it. So, we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and arpeggiate this beast. And I'm going to see if, no more talking, just kind of run with it. Just run, mess with it, final stretch, and then I'll just play around with it for a bit. I'll play around with it for like, I don't know, a good 3 minutes. So you get a good 3 minutes of just fun stuff at the end. Yeah, let's home run it. Oh god, I have one patch cable remaining. I haven't got a clue where to put it. It seems as... Oh. 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 I think I know where I can put it. It is done. This horrendous sound is my Moog Matriarch. Oh, let's see. You see me? There we go. Make sure I'm in frame here. Yes. So that is the Moog Matriarch with all the patch cables in. All the ones that I have at least. Of course, we got some open slots, but a lot of those will do things that we don't want. For those of you who don't understand this machine, you're just like, whoa, cool alien wire thing. Wow. If I do plug in any more, like if I had 5 more cables I had to use, we'd start ruining the sound. We really are running out of available slots that we can start messing with stuff. Yeah, so this is our sound. I'm going to give it a fun little playthrough. I'm going to mess with some stuff. One of the things I did is our sustain knob here messes with the secondary feedback. So that there's primary feedback and there's secondary feedback. I think it's left to right. Not totally sure because it seems to affect both from just this one. But yeah. Let's give us a good 3 minutes of playtime. And then I'll end the video. Wow. I have never heard such a sound out of this machine. That was a little bit more than the 3 minutes I said I was gonna do. It was more. Oh, actually, it was only like 4. So only a minute extra. But like you heard the sound at the end. Oh my goodness, that was mad. That was insane. I am blown away that that is a sound that this can make. Um, hold up. That must have been unplugged at some point. There we go. Done. But yeah. Wow. That is certainly something. I can do my best to try to sample this thing, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this one is sampleable. I like to, at the end of my synthetic design episodes, sample it and give it to you in a way that you can play it as well. But unfortunately on this one, I don't think it's very possible, as you've heard. Honestly, just moving up the feedback will start doing crazy stuff. Watch this. And it starts clipping if I let it go. Yeah, that's wild. Woo! I'll try to record something with this. I think what I might do. You know what? I know what I'll do. I know exactly what I'll do. Episode's not over yet. It's not over. Welcome to part 2, Chaotic Death. We're gonna play this as a Chaotic Death episode. I'm gonna mess with it and slowly strip it apart until there's nothing left, no sound, and we're just gonna have fun with that. 1,000 subscriber special, it carries on. Let's bloody go. killed it. Yeah. So there is that. 2 episodes in one. Of course, that wasn't like a true chaotic death episode because we knew what we were doing, but still, pretty wild. Yeah, I hope you all truly loved this 1,000 subscriber special of synthetic design. I loved it. This was super fun. This is cool. I never would have really would have thought to do this. This is quite a bit. Seriously, thank you all for watching. This is a really cool thing to be able to do, and to have an audience who appreciate. I said this in the 500 subscriber special. I'm going to say it in the 1,000 subscriber special. I'll probably say it in all the specials. It is so cool to have an audience of people who enjoy the things I enjoy, and we can geek out about the same stuff. That is awesome. That is fantastic. That I can just mess around with the synthesizer, and y'all are like, "Whoa, that's so cool! That I love this thing. What that sound is amazing!" Like that stuff is really cool and precious to me, and I really appreciate that. Appreciate you. You are appreciated. So, again, giveaway. You're probably wondering again, which one do I get? Well, you get both. We did another poll, and we found that people want winner takes all. So, when you win both the headphones and the microphone. How about that? So again, just comment something and you were entered to win. And the winner can reach out to me. There'll be an email in my description of the channel. Reach out there and I'll give you some instructions on how to get that gift, those 2 gifts. And yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to do. And also, you know, if you can give you a little video showing off the equipment, you know, kind of like, hey, look at this. It'd be cool to see you use these stuff, you know. I like to see how it helps you in your musical journey. Or if, you know, you just listen to headphones and you're just like, I love the stuffs, you know. You love the stuffs. You know, the beats, they're fun. They've served me very well. Yeah. Dang, I almost don't want to end it because this has been so fun. But this is the end. We've been doing this for 52 minutes. Whoa. That is a very long episode. So, yeah. I seriously hope you all enjoyed this as much or more than I did. Yes. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you can subscribe. If you further enjoyed it, you can become a Control Voltage by joining. Questions or comments, comment section below. Drop them in the space. I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you. And goodbye, YouTube. Boom.